Steve Moran here. I am at the Senior Living Executive Conference in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm talking to Mandy Hampton, somebody I've known for a long time.
Very long time.
So before I actually get into my 5 questions for you, tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do.
I'm the CEO for the Ridge Senior Living, and we own and operate high-end AL, ILMS communities in Denver and Salt Lake City.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So here's my first leadership question for our series.
Okay.
And that is, what's the most important leadership lesson that you've ever learned?
I think you have to watch what people do and listen to less of what they say. Actions speak louder than words.
I like that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, second question. What surprised you most about being a leader?
Oh, I think how lonely it is. There's just a lot of responsibility and pressure from lots of different places, internal pressure, just trying to keep everybody going and motivated and as happy as they can be. But yeah, it can be very lonely.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Third question. What does the industry still get fundamentally wrong? And
Is this my hot
what
take?
Is actually, yes, this is your
If
hot
it's too
topic.
hot, you're going to cut it, right?
No, it can't be. It can't be too hot. It can't be too hot. Can't be done.
It can be too hot. I still think the industry has an identity crisis.
Okay, expand on that a little bit.
So, I think post-COVID, I think the nation decided what we are, which is medical.
Mm-hmm.
And we still think we're a blend of hospitality and medical.
Okay.
And I think we spent a lot of time focusing on the bells and the whistles and, all the cool things and all of our advertising material. And I'm guilty of this as well. That is not what our residents look like. And that's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people at the very end of their life. So I think we need to focus more on the relationships and expectations of what this is going to look like.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. You danced around it, but you never quite answered it.
Oh, I didn't?
Are we
Okay.
healthcare or hospitality?
We are fundamentally healthcare.
Okay. Because it's been really interesting as I've been talking to people, I'm getting both sides of it here just today. So
Yeah.
I'm on your side, by the way.
Okay.
I will tell you.
My mom also lives in memory care, so I have a very different perspective right
Yeah,
now.
and of course, I'm caring for my stepfather who lives in a memory care. Well, I'm not in a memory care, but a residential home. And so, absolutely. It's all about care for him. Okay. Number 4, I'm sorry. What's the single biggest people challenge you're facing today?
I'd say probably emotional burnout. I think those that made it through COVID were extremely resilient. And I could just see, I was at another conference last week, and just the word hantavirus was like making people like stand back from their death. They're like, no, we can't do this again. We cannot go through another crisis. So that's what I always worried about.
So do you think we do better with another one?
With another outbreak?
If we had another outbreak of something.
I think we learned a lot of lessons, but I think what we got wrong was the fact that we didn't stand up for ourselves. We didn't create COVID, but the whole world, or at least the United States, seemed to think because the first major outbreak was in a skilled nursing, that all of a sudden is our fault. We never got our messaging out correctly.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Number 5, what animal best describes your leadership style?
Can go with a couple, but I'm going to go with the elephant.
Okay, why?
They're smart. They're very loyal. They've got long memories. And at the end, they always protect the herd.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you said a couple, so I got to ask what the other one is.
I was going to go with the honeybee.
Okay.
I have buildings in Utah, so it's kind of like a thing. But they also, I think that they're just very team focused, and they produce a really good product that everybody likes. That lasts forever.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that. It's funny because a few weeks ago I asked some of these questions, and somebody wouldn't give me an animal, but he sort of started talking about what he is, and I can't remember what it was. I said, I think you're an ant.
Oh.
And he sort of didn't like that at first, but there's some really, like honeybees and ants, they're pretty industrious.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
They can,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
What's one thing you believe that most of the industry would disagree with?
Something I believe that the industry disagrees with.
That most people in the industry
We're too fragmented.
Okay.
Specifically, like all of these conferences. As someone who's, I have so much time in my day, and I could spend my entire year just doing nothing but going to conferences. And I just wish that there was more cohesiveness amongst all of us to do the greater good.
Yep. There are. So I made a list one time, along with my friend Denise Boudreau. We were looking for speaking opportunities, and this is probably 7 or 8 years ago. So the list is probably longer, but we just found, I think, 230 senior living conferences a year. And I'm sure it's bigger than that today. Now, a lot of those are state associations of people, but even so, there are a lot of conferences. So, okay. Actually, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
I just sort of invented this as I was sitting here with somebody earlier. And so, can you tell me a story about how you, as a leader, your organization has changed the life of a resident, a team member, a family member?
Okay. I'm going to use a recent example just because I was with her last week, and it's a small thing, but it made such an impact on her. I had no idea the impact that it made on her. So I have a resident at one of my buildings in Colorado, and she was a former elementary school teacher. And I knew that. And I'd met her a couple of years ago in the dining room, and she was really advocating for having a library. Now, this is a very high-end, brand new building. We didn't put a traditional library. So she was like, had a little committee, and she was like, no, we're going to take an apartment offline. I'm like, you are not, I'm like, hell no. So we compromised. We have the Sky Bridge. So we compromised that we were going to put bookshelves down the Sky Bridge, and they were going to completely self-manage it. And they have, and they've done a beautiful job. It looks like a library with all the little Dewey Decimal numbers. And she came to a conference last week, and she actually spoke like, this gives me purpose. And this gives me, something to look forward to. And we have a whole thing of local authors, and they get to display their work. And I was like, it's such a small thing to say yes to a library and get creative with it, but it means a lot to her.
So, you know what I really love about this question is that your story is that it presents sort of the way the world is, the way leadership is right now is that, and I think again, a lot of this comes back to COVID. It's just so easy to just say no.
Yeah.
And yet saying yes is often really as easy as saying no. And when we say yes, magical things happen.